Great Dane Explain. This is Great Dane Explain, and that is Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills being boarded up in preparation for the election that takes place tomorrow and the days thereafter. So why is this happening? I was in Beverly Hills over the weekend. They weren't boarding up anything. Things were peaceful. Yes, there was a freedom rally taking place and some marching going on, but no damage done, no looting, no burning. Yet I had to see CBS Los Angeles and ABC Los Angeles try to portray that somehow the boarding up of buildings within Beverly Hills and Santa Monica was connected to the Trump Freedom Rally. Liars. So let's go back in time just a couple of months. This is in Beverly Hills, sometime after the George Floyd death, when all these political saints went out and decided to speak the language of the unheard.
Off with thousands of dollars worth of goods. In upscale Santa Monica, devastating destruction as looters attack business after business.
Hey guys, you see this?
Extraordinary footage shows a woman using her
Look at that.
body.
Let's see what else
By
happened.
her efforts, looters make off with bicycles and backpacks. At Patagonia, they flee with surfboards. These looters
Remember
make their
this?
getaway on a motorcycle. Bedlam at this van store. Looters pile out with shoe boxes. Watch this dude slip and fall.
And listen
Guy
to this
grabs a
genius
shoebox,
coming up.
Then tells a KCBS reporter why he's doing it.
People need to start chaos in order to make their point across.
Wow. What a poet. That's the type of people we are dealing with. That is the caliber of human being that is causing these buildings to be boarded up. The media really thinks they really think myself, and anyone around us are absolute morons and have no memory of what took place over the summer and pretty much feels like almost nonstop since George Floyd died. Let's see here from the Daily Mail. America boards up ahead of election storm. Businesses and government offices across the nation batten down the hatches in case of rioting and unrest. Well, why is this taking place? I mean, all the polls show that Joe Biden is annihilating Donald Trump. It's not even going to be close, right? They're not worried. They can't possibly be worried. Look here, from the Hill, non-scalable fence to go up around the White House before election. Well, why would that be taking place? I mean, if Biden's going to be elected and Trump will be gone, orange man bad, no mas, why would they be putting up a fence around the White House this week? New York Times. Boarded up windows and increased security. Retailers brace for election. Rodeo Drive once again. What are we not being told? Let's look here, from the Daily Mail once again. Louis Vuitton stores, Beverly Hills, Washington, D.C., Boston, Massachusetts, Saks Fifth Avenue, New York City. Look at all that. Do you think these retailers, do you think the CEOs of these businesses are genuinely worried that Trump supporters might be the ones to do this? No. They'd have to be mentally ill to think so. See, when the average person sees these businesses boarding up, their subconscious immediately triggers thoughts of the past just a couple months ago, when Black Lives Matter and Antifa went out and tried to destroy, and in large part were successful in destroying major cities across the United States, all in the name of George Floyd. Yet we had to hear for months this was a peaceful protest. This is the language of the unheard. Why we had to stay home and lock down because of COVID. Why we had to stay home and give up our social life, no longer go to restaurants. Many of us had to, leave our job, give up our businesses. Why all this was taking place. Yet if we went out in public, we were super spreaders. We were spreading the virus. Doesn't make sense, does it? From Minneapolis, some Twin Cities businesses staying open but boarding up as precaution before Election Day. While those rabid Trump supporters in Minneapolis, or maybe it was this just a couple months ago in Minneapolis.
They're right there. They're starting to. We're gonna move back.
Remember this? Remember all those hot deals that were taking place at Target? Everything free. And remember this? George Floyd was apparently a pyromaniac, so they had to burn down everything in honor of him. Some call it modern art. Beautiful. So, such peaceful protest, why is this happening? Why across the country are businesses, news networks putting out the flags of watch out, it's gonna get bad, this week's gonna be terrible? My personal opinion, no matter what, we're going to see rioting and looting because these people aren't political. These people don't stand for anything. They just see, oh, we have an opportunity to go get another free flat screen. I've been wanting that new Keurig. I've been wanting some new Air Force Ones. Those new Jordans are looking sick. I'm going to go out there and steal them. This is another opportunity. That's it. Has nothing to do with George Floyd. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump. It is an excuse to behave like a criminal and get away with it. So why we have Don Lemonhead on TV this week saying anyone that supports the president or anyone that's not going to vote for Biden is brainwashed and they need to be removed from the cult. This is what we have to prepare for. Because the left, they're not a cult. Not the party that if you don't agree 100% with every single thing that they say, you veer off the track even in the slightest way or question anything, suddenly your life must be destroyed. You will be labeled an ist and a phobe. You must be doxxed and you must be banished. No, that's not cult-like behavior. Oh, it's Trump. Anyone who supports Trump. Maybe it's people like this idiot. Bandy X. Lee, an MD. Guys, she's a doctor, so clearly she's rational. President of the World Mental Health Coalition.
Donald Trump is not an Adolf Hitler. At least Hitler improved the daily life of his followers, had discipline, and required more of himself to gain the respect of his followers. Even with the same pathology, there are varying degrees of competence.
Idiot. This is the type of brainwashing. This is the type of soft-headed individuals that we have to deal with as American people. Tweeting this out to her hundreds of thousands of followers. Of course, she tried to delete it shortly after, but too late, Bandy. So what's going to take place? I gave you my prediction. I think they're going to be opportunists regardless of the outcome. They'll burn stuff down if Trump wins because they'll say, oh, America's racist, this must be stopped. And if Biden wins, they'll say, we're sending a message so he knows he needs to do what we tell him to. My hope, we see a Trump victory, and then Trump doesn't have to worry about playing politics and worrying about an upcoming election. He's already good for the next 4 years, and he drops the hammer and puts a stop to all this madness. This is Great Dane Explain. I will talk to you soon. Subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell, comment below. Peace.